make it a better place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line.
Hey everybody, this is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings. Welcome to Memory Keeping Friday. I'm really excited to share with you guys Violet's album. So just really quickly, you can always click right up at the top of the video. It will take you to my coordinating blog post and you can see more photos. I always take a lot of photos of whatever I'm sharing with you guys. So this is just going to be a really real life kind of moment. So I talk a lot about all of the albums that I do throughout the year. I do a family album and that runs January through December. And then I do a album for each of my kids that run from their birthday to their birthday. So I've gotten a lot of comments and emails, comments on Facebook recently where people have been like, I can't believe you do so many albums. I can't even do one. How are you doing this? So I wanted to have a really real life moment with you guys, and I want to share with you Violet's this is her 4th year album. So she turned 5 on November 2nd, and always at their birthday, I really try, usually on their birthday, I get their album out and I look at it with them. And it's really a time, I think as a parent, our kids' birthdays, I've always felt like it's really a time for that parent. I always reflect on when I had them, how our life has changed, that kind of thing. And so it's always been something that I've done with them. I get their album out and I look through their album with them. Sometimes I'll get their baby album out and look at their baby album with them. And it's really amazing to see how their memories and their interaction with the photos that they see and the things that are put in their album, it's really amazing. So Violet turned 5 on November 2nd. And so I really was like, okay, I kind of really want to wrap up last year's portion of her album, get those photos in, and then I always know I need to journal because I'm just not great at journaling as I go. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do. So I like to just sit down and journal a whole year or so at one time. So this is what happened. I opened her album up and I realized November of last year, I have 2 photos. Okay. December of last year, I have no photos. The only thing I have in is our Christmas card. Each year we do a Christmas card and I put one of our Christmas cards in each of my kids' album so that they have that when they get older. So December, I have nothing. Then in January, I started doing a little bit better. So I even have some of the journaling done, but then in February, I'm missing 3 photos. Oh, so that was actually January. So that was the end of January, actually, because I did 2 spreads for January. March, 4 photos I need. Or sorry, February. So I guess I was doing 2 spreads. Okay, so see, I don't even know what's going on in this album, you guys. So it looks like that I started off doing 2 spreads per month. So here's January, and then I'm missing photos. So then here's February, then I'm missing photos. So I think, yep. So I realize in March, this isn't working. I'm not taking enough photos to fill up 2 sides. So I pare it down to just 1 spread per month. I still am missing a photo. We go into April, I do pretty good. May, I even did a traditional layout. But let me just tell you guys, this was for a Stampin' Up! Meeting that I did. And so it was sort of one of those things where it was a deadline that I needed to create something. And so I just thought, well, I'll do one of Violet and her album, because then I made a card and I did something else. So it was kind of like a deadline situation for me and work related. And then I popped it into her album. So, but March looks pretty good. Then June looks pretty good. July, August, and then September and October have nothing, okay? So that is just really, you guys, when I say that I do 4 albums a year, that does not mean that I do them perfectly and I'm always caught up and everything is always like right on. So what happens is in November, which it's November right now, I looked back and I opened up her album and I saw all of this. So now I'm going to sit down at my computer and find the photos that I need. I'll drop them into a folder, and when I get photos printed next, those photos will come and I can fill in the gaps. Now, September and October photos, I have recently gotten printed. I just haven't received them in the mail yet. So I'll be able to fill that in. So then what I did is I get about 3 years in each album. So now for Violet, I just use the clear page dividers, the little page tabs that you can get from Becky Higgins. I just use the clear ones. It's what I had on hand, and it's what I've continued to use. And then I just did this layout. I did this little tag and flower, and this is new product that's coming out in spring for Stampin' Up. It's not available yet. And then I used a die to cut this out, to cut the numbers out. And what I'll do is I'll make a tab, and I'll put a tab on the end here, and I'll show you how I do that. I just take a punch. This is my favorite one to use. It's a label punch. And I'll just cut out some cardstock. I'll punch it out just like that. I'll fold it in half. Just like that. On this one, I'll just use my white gel pen. All right. Just like that. I'll take some packing tape. First, I'll take my tiny attacher. Just like this, so it sticks out some. Then I'll take some tape, and I'll put some tape over it so it doesn't get torn. And then I just have a tab. So you can just see right there, I have my tab. So the next year, when the next one comes, I'll have another tab. So you can clearly see that that is the beginning of her next set. So I have a photo that's going to go here, and then I've already set up November. I have an insert because it's her birthday this month, so I'm gonna have birthday photos. And then you can see I've set up December, and then here's January. And then I need to get more dividers, and once I do that, I'll just stick in more page protectors. And then I have a big envelope, and that's where we put her birthday cards and just some other stuff that doesn't maybe fit in this other portion. So now all I'm going to do is get those photos, and then I'll journal. I'll sit down one day and I'll journal, and that will be perfect. So you can see that it doesn't mean that when you're doing multiple albums that they have to be perfect. If you set them up in this way, that makes it very easy. Like you can see that I have December already set up. It's very simple. I'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 photos. I'm sure in the month of December, I will take that many photos, and I can use that many in her album. And then it doesn't matter if things are journaled. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. If you get them in the album, you can always go back later. There's always going to be a moment that I have some time, that I have 10, 15 minutes. I can do some journaling, and then I can stick it back on the shelf. And then I just know, like, I need to finish up that journaling. As long as you're constantly in motion with these albums, it feels less overwhelming. And how I do so many albums, and my process, and how I keep up with them. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to do videos for you guys. If you're not quite sure what I mean by something, it's a lot easier for me to open up an album and show you guys than it is for me to try to type back a long email to you guys. So thank you guys so much for coming by, checking out Memory Keeping Friday. And I will be back next week with a bunch of new stuff. I have lots of things in the works that I'm really excited to be announcing over the next couple weeks. So thanks so much, guys, and I will chat with you later.